Hi, I'm Elly, and this is your weekly theatre news recap, the show where you get news. You get it chaotically, but you still get it from the UK touring theatre and also the West End. So if you want to stay up to date with all that theatre, you can hit subscribe because I do these every single week to varying levels of quality and success. Well, yet again this week, this is a bigger news for casting than it is for new productions. Let's dive in, as we always do, starting with our casting news. And the first thing I get to talk about is actually my friend's show. Yay, supporting your friends. As previously announced, Mickey Jo Theatre Live is going to become a recurring show at the Phoenix Arts Club, with dates in September, October, and November currently announced. And we have our guests for the first show on the 22nd of September. Jodie Jacobs, the understudy for Imelda Staunton in Hello, Dolly. Evelyn Hoskins, who you may know from 42 Balloons, you may know from Spring Awakening, that was a long time ago, but you may remember her from that. And of course, Waitress, alongside Jack Godfrey, the writer of Babies, the writer of 42 Balloons. They will all be there to do their thing and to be interviewed by Michael Joseph Theatre. And guess what? I'm going to be there too. I'm not a guest. I'm not on stage. But hey, if you want to see me, I'm going to be there. I'll probably be selling merch because that's what I do best. I do it very well, thank you. So if you would like to see a live show, see some interviews, be up close and personal to Mickey Jo Theatre and also me, probably, maybe, I'm there. Why am I saying maybe? I'm there. Unless something happens to me, oh God forbid, am I going to die? You could go and support my friend Mickey at his show, 22nd of September. That's a Sunday, it's a weekend, you shouldn't be doing anything, you've got no excuse, go and see the live show. Can't get to London? That's no excuse either. You can get live stream tickets as well. Phoenix Arts Club website. Go and do it. Support my friend. Next up, Chicago. We have our cast for the upcoming Chicago tour. And yes, I am going to list off every single tour date. I'm scared. Returning to the show will be Faye Brooks, taking on the role of Roxy Hart, with Brenda Edwards also coming to play Mama Morton. Good casting, great casting, I must say. Kevin Clifton is going to be playing Billy Flynn. Jalenga Scott returns to the role of Velma Kelly, alongside Joshua Lloyd as Amos Hart and Jordan Lee Davies as Mary Sunshine. We also have an ensemble who will be in the description down below. Now, if you're ready, I'm ready, let's get ready, because oh boy, it's time to tell you every single tour stop this show is going to. Oh, let's see. Okay. This tour will be opening on the 12th of October at the Milton Keynes Theatre, followed by Bradford from the 21st of October, Newcastle from the 28th of October, the Palace Theatre in Manchester from the 4th of November, Dartford from the 11th of November, the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton from the 19th of November, and Stoke Regent's Theatre from the 25th of November. Then it's taking a little Christmas break, and then it's coming back in 2025 with theatre visits from the 14th of January, starting in Aberdeen, then Cheltenham, Everyman from the 20th of January, Sheffield Lyceum, 28th of January, Edinburgh Playhouse, 4th of February, Liverpool Empire, 10th of February, Oxford New Theatre from the 24th of February, Southend Cliffs Pavilion from the 3rd of March. Dublin from the 11th of March, and that is my birthday. Belfast the 17th of March, Bournemouth from the 31st of March. I can't see what I've typed. The Nottingham from the 7th of April, Birmingham Alexandria from the 14th of April, Cornwall from the 21st of April, Llandudno from the 29th of April, Wales Millennium Centre in Cardiff from the 5th of May, Bristol Hippodrome from the 9th of May, New Wimbledon Theatre from the 9th of June, Curve Leicester from the 16th of June, Wolverhampton Grand from the 23rd of June, Hull New Theatre from the 30th of June, Congress Theatre Eastbourne from the 7th of July, Norwich Theatre Royal from the 14th of July, Blackpool Winter Gardens from the 21st of July, New Victoria Woking from the 28th of July, Sunderland Empire from the 4th of August, Half in Crawley from the 11th of August, and King's Theatre Glasgow from the 18th of August. Oh my God, I did it. No mistakes. So if you want to catch Chicago, you can catch it at one of those venues. Next up, a real simple one. I kind of need it. We have our cast for Muriel's wedding. Well, we have two of them, not the full cast. The full cast is coming later. But we know that Megan Ellis, who was in the original Edinburgh run of 6, will be our Muriel, And Annabelle Marlowe will be playing Rhonda. Two very Australian names for a very Australian show transferring from Australia to Leicester. So if you want a little taste of Muriel's wedding, you can catch it at the Leicester Curve. Next up, we have the final cast members announced for the Layman's trilogy, which opens next week, I'm pretty sure. It's opening very soon. These are all understudies. I'll list them here. We have Valentine Hansen, who is understudy Emmanuel. We have Leighton Pugh as understudy Henry, and Simon Victor as the janitor, who will also be understudying Maya. Ali Berry is also joining as an understudy pianist. So if you'd like to catch the Layman's trilogy back in the West End, you can catch it starting from next week, I'm pretty sure, at the Gillian Lynn Theatre. Beautiful theatre, beautiful show. A long show. I've heard it's like 3 hours long. I need to see it. I need to go and see it. I've heard very good things. Next up, A Christmas Carol. We're heading up to Manchester, up to the Lowry in Salford, because the Hope Mill Theatre's production of A Christmas Carol the musical is going to be playing at that theatre. And we know that the amazing Claire Moore, who I saw in the Great British Bake Off musical, oh, she is such a delight. She will be less of a delight because she's playing quite an angry role in the role of Scrooge. This will be performed at the Lowry's Quays Theatre from the 6th of December to the 5th of January. So if you'd like to catch A Christmas Carol, and if you are near Manchester, you can catch the lovely Claire Moore in that then. Next up, Kinky Boots. We have our Lauren announced, and oh my god, when I saw this announced, I was so happy. A person who should have played this role years ago, should have had a full chance to play this role in a full production, and now she's finally being able to. The amazing, the incredible, the iconic, the legendary Courtney Bowman will be joining Kinky Boots on tour as Lauren. Now, I saw her as this role in the concert version they did at Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which apparently was 2 years ago, which feels completely wrong. Oh my god, 2 years? But when I did a review of that, I said, please, for the love of God, Courtney Bowen needs to play this role in a full production. And now we're finally getting it. She is so perfect for this role. I cannot wait to see what she does with a full production of it. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Cannot wait. Next up, some really exciting news this week. We are seeing the London return of Keala Settle. Now, you obviously know who Settle is. She was in The Greatest Showman. She was in And Juliet. She was in Waitress. You know her. And she is joining a musical off West End. She is going to be in Fly More Than You Fall, which is going to the Southwark Playhouse Elephant from the 18th of October to the 23rd of November. That is a wonderfully intimate space, so if you would like to see her up close and personal, you can go and see her in this new musical and support new British musicals at the same time, which is amazing. We love to see it. And finally, in casting news, we actually have anti-casting news. I never really know whether or not to cover cast members leaving a show. It's not often that you'll see like an official announcement of a cast member leaving. Typically, you'll see a cast change announcement come out, and that's how you know that someone is leaving. But recently, Hadestown has started to announce a little bit early when their cast members are going, and then announcing who the cast members coming into the show are. This is kind of how it's worked on Broadway. It's just less common to see here. So I didn't really know. I didn't do it last time. Whether or not I wanted to cover it in this series until it was announced who is taking over. I've decided from now on that anything that is cast members leaving, I will put at the end of casting announcements. So, Gloria Onatiri will play her final performance as Persephone on the 6th of October, and a week later, Zachary James will play his final role as Hades on the 13th of October. These two performers are fantastic in this show. If you do get a chance to go and see them before they leave, you absolutely have to do so. These are two talents that know no bounds. I cannot wait to see what they do next, and I'm very excited to see who is joining Hadestown next. Carrying on, let's move on to concerts. We have a couple of concerts and a couple of casting bits for concerts that were announced this week. First off, at the Other Palace Studio, we are getting Friends of Evie. If you thought Evelyn Hoskins had already announced enough this week, we've got more for you, as Evelyn Hoskins will perform a one-night-only solo cabaret, Friends of Evie, which is happening at the Other Palace Studio on the 9th of November, featuring songs selected by all of Hoskins' close gay friends, which is camp. I love that. That's amazing. So if you would like to catch a solo show just with Evelyn Hoskins slaying, and she often does, you can go to the Other Palace Studio on the 9th of November. Also announced this week in concerts was Little Piece of You. This is a European premiere of a brand new original musical, which will be happening in 2 concert productions on Thursday, the 31st of October and Friday, the 1st of November at Theatre Royal Drury Lane. Now, this has been written by Kirsty Long, a 17-year-old, and is also starring in this production in the role of Sydney Hill, which this makes me feel like I haven't accomplished much at the ripe old age of 22. I'm out here filming videos in a bedroom and she's out here getting West End shows. What am I doing with my life? But, of course, this is very exciting. If you would like to catch this, obviously that is Thursday, the 31st of October, and Friday, the 1st of November. Catch it then. And finally, in concert news this week, we have the rest of the cast for the Ghost concert. Now, obviously, it has been announced before that Lucy Jones and Oliver Thompson will be playing the 2 lead roles of Molly and Sam in this show. And joining them will be original Broadway cast member Moya Angela, David Seaton Young as Carl, Sam Mackey as Willie Lopez, and original West End cast members Lisa Davina Phillip and Jenny Fitzpatrick, who will reprise their roles as Clara and Louise. We also have an ensemble who will be in the description down below. But very exciting, the Ghost concert is happening on Tuesday, the 1st of October at the Adelphi Theatre at 8 p.m. So if you would like to catch this show in concert, you can catch it then. If you can't get to London for that day, remember this show is also touring as well. So there are many ways that you can catch Ghost. And that is it for concert news. Let's move on to miscellaneous news, starting with a bunch of extensions for shows. These are Mean Girls, which is extended to the 4th of April 2025, Matilda, which is extended to the 24th of May 2026, and Play That Goes Wrong, that is extended to the 1st of February 2026 as well. Some pretty hefty extensions there, so you've got so much more time to catch these amazing shows. Also announced this week, just out of the blue, they just kind of dropped this onto us and said, go ahead and listen. Cake! Let them eat cake, let them listen to Cake, because you can now go and listen to the Cake cast album. There was no hype for this. There was no intrigue. There was no hinting. They were just like, by the way, we've done a cast album. Want to listen? It's really nice to see them release this before the show lands in London. I think it opened later into the week, and this came out like right at the start of the week. So if you like a little listen to Cake before you go and see it at the Other Palace, I'm seeing it in like not next week, the week after. So I'm going to keep away from it until I go and see the show. But I mean, so many new musicals come out and don't release their cast albums until too late into the run. And I'm like, no, I want to listen to it immediately. I want to go to the show and then be able to go home while listening to these amazing songs that I've already got stuck in my head. I want it, please. And it's nice to know that I will be able to do that with Cake. I'm still waiting on Babies. Where's the Babies cast album? Where is it? Next up, some really interesting news from Stranger Things. So, those who purchase tickets through to the 30th of September 2024 and are not currently Netflix subscribers will receive a 30-day subscription to Netflix's standard plan if you buy tickets to Stranger Things: The First Shadow in the West End. This offer is valid for one subscription per ticket order and is only available to new Netflix members in the US and the UK. And you will get details of how to redeem this via email once you've purchased your tickets. This is a first for UK theatre. We don't see many offers that are done like this with UK theatre. It's a nice way to get some more people to go and see Stranger Things, I'm sure. It's a nice bonus for anyone planning to book tickets for Stranger Things over the next 2 weeks. So make sure you snap up this deal if you are interested and want to see Stranger Things: The First Shadow. And finally, miscellaneous news, we have 2 shows to talk about that have announced their closures. The first one is Mrs Doubtfire. The Mrs Doubtfire musical will be closing on the 26th of April 2025. In a statement announced by Mrs Doubtfire herself, Euphemia Doubtfire, she mentioned that she is planning to do a world tour. We can assume by the phrasing of this statement that Mrs Doubtfire will likely have a UK tour, or maybe even a world tour, as she is seemingly implying, following the closure in April next year. We've likely got a little bit of a gap to wait after Doubtfire closes before that tour comes around again, but if you would like to catch Doubtfire in the West End, you have until April 2025. And the other show that is announced that it's closing is Punch Drunk's Viola's Room. This will be closing on the 23rd of December 2024. They are also doing some variations on the format, with a nostalgia weekend on the 31st of October to the 2nd of November. And then from the 20th of November through to the end of the run, they're going to adapt it into Viola's Room, A Christmas Tale, with a festive and different spin on the experience. So if you want to catch this for the first time, if you want to catch one of those special spins on it, you have until the 23rd of December 2024. And with that, we can move on to our transfers and new productions. Now, there wasn't too much this week, too much new, but we'll walk through what was announced either way. First up, we have 2 new plays going to the Haymarket, the Theatre Royal Haymarket, both transferring from the Theatre Royal Bath. So they're going from one Theatre Royal to another, which is very, very beautiful. I love that. First is The Score, a new play by Oliver Cotton, which will run at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane from the 20th of February to the 26th of April 2025. This is being directed by Trevor Nunn, who is a very accomplished director, directed the original production of Les Mis, has also directed Fiddler on the Roof as well. This production is starring Brian Cox as Bach and Nicole Ansari Cox as Bach's wife. This is set in 1747 in Prussia and explores the crush between Bach and Frederick II, an atheist military leader. The second play, which will follow straight on from The Score, is The Deep Blue Sea. This is a revival of a play that dives into the emotional turmoil of Hester, a woman trapped in a destructive love affair, and will star Tamsin Gregg and Finbar Lynch. This runs at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane from the 7th of May to the 21st of June 2025, so if you would like to catch either of these plays, you can go and see them at the dates I just said. I hope you were listening. I'm not saying them again. You can always skip back in the video. Next up, the Twiggy musical is returning. This musical was first seen at the Menier Chocolate Factory, I want to say last year. It's one that I actually missed. But this is a new iteration, a brand new production, which is going on a UK tour. This obviously centers around the iconic fashion personality Twiggy, and will open in Cheltenham. This is going to happen from the 4th to the 13th of September 2025, ahead of a national tour, of which we will have to wait for dates, alongside further casting and additional creatives. So, Twiggy's coming back, going to Cheltenham, we wait for the rest. Next up, we have the announcement of the opening of Sadler's Wells East. This will be the third venue, Yes, the third venue in London run by Sadler's Wells, because they also own the Peacock Theatre and obviously Sadler's Wells. This new theatre, as it kind of, hints to in the name, Sadler's Wells East, is located in Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. Now, they have announced their opening season. I'm not going to walk through these shows because they announced about 20 different productions, ranging from different hip-hop shows, a lot of dance in there. They're platforming a lot of really interesting voices. I implore you to go to their website and take a look at all of the different diverse shows that they have announced. But this will be opening in February 2025, so if you want to catch some shows at this new venue, you can check it out from then. And finally in news this week, we have the announcement of new shows from Wise Children. There's productions here of The Little Match Girl, Happier Tales, The Ugly Duckling. There's a new global tour of their production of Wuthering Heights, but newly announced was that they will be producing an adaptation of North by Northwest. This will be co-produced by the York Theatre Royal, Home Manchester, and the Liverpool Everyman and Playhouse. This will open at the York Theatre Royal on the 18th of March, with press night on the 26th of March, before touring to Manchester, Liverpool, and further UK venues. This is obviously based on North by Northwest, the classic Hitchcock film released in 1959, following Roger Thornhill, a man mistaken for a spy in the middle of a Cold War conspiracy. So, if you want to catch any of these shows, and if you want to catch North by Northwest, you can head to any of those venues or keep an ear out. I'll probably talk about it when they announce it again for further UK tour venues. Wee woo, breaking news. This is breaking news. This is so breaking news that I'm recording this after I filmed this entire video. That's why you can't see me. But breaking news this morning came in that just for one day, the Live Aid musical will be opening in the West End next May 2025, specifically the 15th of May 2025. This is the Live Aid musical that premiered at the Old Vic earlier this year. It was a really interesting show, very come from away vibes with how they told the story, and will be going to the Shaftesbury Theatre next year. It will also have a special gala performance on the 13th of July, exactly 40 years after the iconic concerts were staged in London and Philadelphia. This will star Craig Ells returning to the role of Bob Geldof, with more casting to be announced soon. Currently, the show is booking to the 10th of January 2026, so if you would like to catch the Live Aid musical, you can do it then. This is the end of breaking news. Okay, back to the video. And that is all your theatre news this week. We did it! Hooray! Yippee! What are you most excited for? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me, it helps out the channel. Here's some links to some other videos on the screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you would like to drop me a follow over there. I also have other socials and a merch store in the description down below. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!